and welcome to Schaumburg, Illinois for our Major League Quadball series between the Chicago Prowl and the Toronto Raiders. I'm Jack McGovern here with Matt Melton. We're going to be bringing you the game today. How are you today, Matt?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. How are you doing, Jack?
Really good. I'm excited. It's my first time seeing an MLQ series this summer, so it's good to be back out. These two teams have been playing at a really high level all summer. Chicago has the chance to clinch the MLQ North Division this weekend.
Yep, we need 2 wins, and then that puts us above Detroit with our tiebreaker of having beat them, so that would be all we need is 2.
And Toronto looking to secure their place, their seed as we get brooms up here right now. DME with the quad ball gets beat by number 29, Brittany Taylor. And now Joe Lamb is taking the quad ball the other way. Looks for Brian Melchior, and Melchior is going to get the first goal of the game. How about that? Toronto scoring first.
Great pump fake on that dunk by Melchior to throw the defender off and put it through the hoop. Well done.
And here's DME coming the other way. Looks for Ben Peachy at the top of the key.
Shot.
Peachy takes a shot.
Not a bad shot, just over the top.
Yeah, and rolls out of bounds. So Toronto with
Comes
the
out
goal
firing.
And the stop on the first possession.
Yeah, a lot of beat or chaos throughout that last possession and from the start. I think it looks like we finally kind of stabilized. We got Chicago beaters have control of the dodgeballs right now. That's Mike Maroic and Caleb Williams. And Taylor on Toronto's holding it. Oh, Taylor gets beat, and looks like Toronto kind of just punted on that one.
Yeah, they're putting heavy pressure on the Toronto ball carrier, Brian Melchior, and Mike Maroic looking to create an opportunity for the Prowl to go the other way. Here comes Ben Peachy, looks for DME on the wing, and DME ties the score at 10-10.
Yeah, so lovely beater player into the hoops there to kind of distract to pull that last dodgeball out of the play, so that way it was all passing from the chasers on that one.
And look at how aggressively Chicago is positioning their defense. They've got almost all of their players around midfield right now.
Yeah, they don't have a single player in the keeper zone right now.
Yeah.
They're not waiting around.
Looking for the opportunity to pounce. How is Toronto going to get around this?
Toronto's going to need to pass it around, find the weak spots.
And Lamb tosses it up.
That's the
Peachy coming the other way. Looks for Dara Guyman, and she's going to score.
Yeah, that's the one thing Toronto can't do is run into a beat like that and then throw a short pass. If they can spread out their chasers and kind of at least throw deep on those, they might be able to at least save the fast break coming the other way like that. But if they just keep losing the ball before they even get to Chicago's keeper zone, Chicago will just run fast breaks on them.
Yeah, you got to keep it away from the opposing team's keeper. Now Chicago hanging back defensively, throwing some different looks at the Toronto Raiders offense. Joe Lamb going to take the quad ball around the side, looks up top for Melchior. Melchior trying to break a tackle from Peachy, but eats a beat from Maroic, and here comes Peachy. Peachy looking for
looks
a
like it's
third
gonna be uncontested.
goal. Oh. And that's going to be a dunk through the top hoop, 30-10 Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago turned that around very quickly. My guess is they didn't throw the press defense on that third one just because they did it twice in a row or trying to rest their players a little bit.
Yeah, impressive response from the Prowl, and it's all starting on defense for Chicago right now.
Yeah, Chicago's missing 2 of their top beaters in Tad Walters and Noyes right now. It looks like, though, that they're still able to maintain control. Emma Sherwood right now is working on the rug. It looks like she got sent back to the hoops.
Yeah, Melchior was trying to find Gabriel Kwok behind the hoops, but pass sailed out of bounds. And now Emma Vasquez bringing the quad ball up.
Recently promoted to Team USA.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, very exciting. Emma Vasquez taking the quad ball through the middle now. Looks for Nathan Digman on the wing.
Yeah, Chicago should have full line change right here.
Byron Ing throws to Kaylee Fugate.
Oh.
Fugate's pass gets tipped, but that's going to go through. And Kaylee Fugate puts Chicago Prowl up 40-10.
Then bounced it in off the deflection. Wow. Bad luck. That was a really good block there by number 17, Kwok.
Yeah, not a great break for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's just bad. That's just bad luck. I hate that when you make a good play and the deflection still goes in. Jim's working on Emma Sherwood right now. Toronto managed to gain control during that play, though.
Joe Lamb looking for Kwok on the wing. Kwok driving now, looking for the opening. Melchior behind the hoops, takes a shot, but that's right at Byron Ing. And Nathan Digman is running the other way now.
That's a good play.
Slows up.
There's a good play by beater Veronica Hoffman on that one. She wanted to dedicate that first play to her roommates, Savannah and Hannah. Oh, I have to get her roommates' names again. But she wanted to dedicate that to her two roommates for being awesome roommates.
Love to see that.
Yeah, love to see.
Veronica Hoffman and Jim Richard have really been developing some nice chemistry this year as a beater pair. Excited to see if they can now get dodgeball control back. Kaylee Fugate with the quad ball on the wing, takes a tackle from Lamb, but gets it back to Digman. Digman driving through the middle, takes the shot and scores on the center hoop. Chicago up 50-10 now. We're gonna get a whistle now.
Oh, looks like play was just stopped so we could fetch the quad ball that was halfway to the skate park here at Olympia Fields. So good pass by Kaylee on the ground to get that to Digman. Just put Melchior in a bad spot where Digman coming around with all hoops open with no beater help. Not looking good. Sherwood gets the ball back to number 89, Peter McCooch. Looks like the beaters on Prowl have regained control once again. Toronto is going to need to get that back if they're going to want to compete more.
Yeah, Hoffman and Richard making quick work. And Toronto,
Toronto
swings the quad ball around now. That's number 38, Lauren Matheson.
And a good play by Sherwood managed to get control back for Toronto. We got a deep pass here to number 12.
Yeah, Joe Lamb looking for Nathan Reed.
Yeah, just a little too far over Reed's head, and one recovered by Chicago. But Toronto did get control back on this. So let's see what Prowl will have to do against control for once.
Kaylee Fugate with the quad ball now.
Very different setup now. Chicago's a lot slower.
Shakes and bakes.
Maybe not.
Looks for the goal and converts. 60-10, Chicago Prowl.
Yeah, surprise. It looks like Jim Richard on Prowl just ran in for the Toronto Beaters and distracted them long enough. Now they managed to maintain control. Oh, and now, Toronto's got all three bludgers right now. The third one's on the ground, so they're in a no bludger situation. Toronto's got to run this in right now while they got the chance.
Yeah, no dodgeballs. They were waiting around too long. Now they're going. Number 32
to Reed.
Looks for Reed. Reed trying to break the tackle from Byron Ing. Ing gets the quad ball out, but intercepts the ball on the way back. Nice defense from Ing there.
Yeah, Ing was all over that play, all over the place. It was Toronto's got to take advantage of those no bludger situations if they're going to catch up here to Chicago.
Absolutely, and that was some nice work by Grace Davey and Piotr McCoo. They've maintained dodgeball control right now as Ing gets the quad ball behind the hoop, swings it back up top to Digman. Digman trying to get around Reed and throws off the tee of the top hoop. So first missed shot for Chicago.
Yep. So it's usually close enough. So
score is 60-10 right now.
Yeah, I think Toronto's defense forced that shot a little bit. So they're getting better, especially with control. I think they're able to crowd the paint a little more and make Chicago shoot from further out.
Number 70 for Toronto, Kieran Smith checking into the game at beater. Smith is making their debut this weekend. 32, Christos Caldas trying to get around the dodgeball, regains the quad ball, looks for the shot, but blocked by Ing. Lauren Matheson trying to gather, Digman making their life difficult, and Chicago is going to recover the quad ball.
Yeah, the long arms, Byron Ing blocked another shot on that one. Toronto's going to need to do a little more on the hoops, either throw some big pump fakes in there or somehow just pull Byron off that hoop. Although they're subbed out now, but now they were getting replaced by number 4, Grant Himmelman, and Himmelman will do the same thing and blocking those shots from far away if they don't somehow pull them off the hoops.
Yeah, really good shift from the second line for Chicago. 3 goals for the first line and the second line. Excited to see now what the third line can do. This is Nivash Jairam tossing back to Kennedy Murphy. Back to Jairam. Jairam looking behind the hoops for Himmelman, and Himmelman scores. That's beautiful.
That was some great triangle passing back and forth, just back and forth until the cut was made behind the hoops for the easy shot and goal.
And that's a hockey assist for Kennedy Murphy, who's got 10 this season. Just really doing a great job distributing the ball this summer.
Yeah, it's great having her back after missing last season due to an ACL injury. So she picked up right where she left off.
It's the head coach for the Chicago Prowl, now serving in a playing role. Christos Caldas with the quad ball up top, coming under some pressure. Steps up, looks for Reed on the side. Reed tries to get the shot off. That's number 21, Savannah Campbell with the quad ball now. Tries to get it back to Reed, but Himmelman is going to recover it.
Meanwhile, though, Smith and Smith and Davey managed to regain control of the dodgeballs for Toronto. So this should help slow down Chicago's potent offense, but it wouldn't be the first time Chicago would exit.
Yeah, solid spell of dodgeball for Toronto here in game one.
Yeah, they've done really good the past couple, 3, 4, maybe even 5 minutes.
Yeah, but like you said, they're going to have to do a little bit more with it. Gyron swings around to Himmelman.
Oh, and Harold... Harold and Advent Coolidge tried to do a beat, accidentally hit the hoop, but the ball came back to them, and they managed to get control anyways.
Another nice break.
Yeah, Chicago got a... once again...
That's up, finding Levi Gyron on the wing.
Wonderful cut by Gyron.
70-10, Chicago.
Yeah, rough possession there for Toronto. They have been looking really good with dodgeball control for the past couple of plays, but Prowl's able to continue. Advent Coolidge just lost control and went for pump fake, and he lost the ball. So now Davies and Smith are going to regain control.
Cal just looks for Lauren Matheson on the near side.
With Brittany Taylor in now. Turnover for Toronto. But yeah, Brittany Taylor's in now with Smith with dodgeball control for Toronto.
Liam Zock bringing the quad ball up. Zock's been having a great season, 17 goals, 8 assists, and 16 stops. That's their stat line. Levi's Gyron with the quad ball behind the hoops now.
Brittany Taylor with a nice double beat to get control back for Toronto.
Murphy swings over to Himmelman. Himmelman blocks the dodgeball, takes the shot, but just a little bit high. Chicago getting a little shot happy.
Yeah, that was a little far out. They were outside of the keeper zone and the side hoop. That was not a great angled shot. But kudos to the defense of Toronto for making them force that.
Lachlan Craig, number 87, streaking down the near side, tackled by Zock, and that is what Zock does.
Zock does love the tackle. Got to stay away from him. Yeah, Craig just got way too close to Liam.
Ball comes out. It's going to be a turnover to Chicago. Beaters clean that up well.
Yeah, Toronto's Beaters are maintaining control right now. It looks like Craig is trying to make a tackle.
Yeah, Craig bringing a lot of energy right now. Steps back now. Liam Zock working on the far side. Throws back up top to Murphy. Murphy pump fakes. Throws back over to Zock. Zock looks for Himmelman behind the hoops. Guyman made the cut.
There it is.
And Himmelman gets one back. That's 8-10 for Chicago now.
Surprised by that one. The Taylors had control, but it looks like they were concentrating on the front of the hoops, and they gave Himmelman a lot of area to work with behind the hoops. But yeah, that is the Taylor couple in now. The couple that beats together stays together, as they say. Toronto walking it down. Craig walking slowly behind their beaters.
Craig looking for an opening, under pressure from Guyman. Looks for number 25, William McMillan. Shot misses.
Oh, that was a good opportunity, though.
McMillan, another player making his debut for the Raiders this weekend. Ben Peachy bringing the quad ball up now. Throws over to Guyman.
Oh. Williams got beat for Prowl behind the hoops.
Pump fakes. Looks for DME. Over to Ali Manzella, newly promoted to Team USA. Peachy at the top of the key, tosses to DME, and that went in on the shot. So Ben Peachy puts Chicago up 90-10. So the first line for Chicago, gets back right to what they were doing at the start of the game. Number 87, Lachlan Craig, bringing the quad ball up now. And blocked by Peachy. Peachy's been a domineering presence in the paint so far. Looks for the pass far up the pitch to DME, and Darian Mercer-Ellis with the goal to put Chicago up 100-10. That's a really good transition play from Chicago, and I think now we're going to see, it looked for a second like they were going to run the press defense again, but they're going to sink back now and play their typical paint defense. Caleb Williams trading pump fakes with Emma Sherwood. Traded dodgeballs, and the pass from Craig just goes over the head of 25, McMillan.
Yeah, looks like that's the second time in a row they're going for McMillan over by the small hoop. they got a shot on it. They,
It looks like
McMillan can make a clean catch and a quick move.
it looks like McMillan was going to track DME, but DME now goes behind the hoops, gets the quad ball under pressure from Sherwood. Pass goes over the head of Peachy. Quad ball now finds DME, and that's a goal. 110 to 10 for Chicago right now.
Yeah. Looks like Toronto's gonna take a timeout right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good stuff from Toronto here. They've had spells of dodgeball control.
Yep.
They got the first goal, but it's been quiet since then on the offensive end.
Yeah, and Chicago's offense seemed to just not really mind too much about Toronto having control. It seems Toronto seems to be playing up front a little bit, so Prowl's working it behind the back and finding a lot of success there behind the hoops.
Yeah, I think the Raiders really need to figure out how to track some of those cutters.
Yep.
It's hard to do. The Prowl have designed, a really, multi-dimensional offense with threats from every direction. But little things like, the positioning of the beaters or hoop defenders just being a little bit more aware of cutters is the kind of thing that can make the difference and get you a few stops.
Yeah, I feel like Toronto's almost got to pick and choose where they're going to put more of their chasers or where they're going to put their beaters at. So if they're going to put their beaters up front, they probably need to have their chasers crowd the back a little more and prevent all the cutting in action from behind the hoops, or vice versa, and just put a beater behind the hoops and then have their chasers to take care of up front. But it has seemed since they have started to crowd the paint in front of the hoops, Chicago has been shooting less and trying to work more with drives behind the hoop.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, and I think that's where they found the most success, finding those cutters, being patient, waiting for those kinds of really great looks rather than taking a shot from outside the paint, and it's really good practice heading into championships.
Yep, and on Toronto's side, they've been able to hit McMillan pretty easily by the small hoop. They just haven't. McMillan hasn't gotten one through yet and in. I'd be curious to see if they keep doing that or if they add some more elements to it. They've not had much luck passing deep behind the hoops, usually because Chicago's beaters are back there, but I think if they can get control back, they might have some more success behind there.
And it's number 87, Lachlan Craig, bringing the quad ball up on the far side now. Craig facing off against Ali Manzella.
Yep, dance around the top. He's got a sitter hoop blocked by Darian Mersick-Ellis.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too easy for DME. DME's, has the coverage to, deny those shots on the top hoop for sure.
Yeah, Team USA player. Mersick-Ellis is definitely able to cover that hoop without, if there's not any action or something to distract him, I'll pull him out of the play.
Vasquez swings over to Digman, and Digman's going to score from the side, making it
the target, no good, beat before.
Beat before is the call,
yes,
okay.
I would agree. I think they were definitely beating the leg before they released the ball. I think, looks like we got an injury behind the hoops for Toronto. One of their chasers is down. But yeah, great beat on that one. I believe that was Emma Sherwood with that beat on Digman right before they released. It was a great play. That's what Toronto's going to do is once the chasers on Chicago commit to shots like that, Toronto's just going to need to pull the trigger first and beat them before they release like that. That's going to be the best way to stop those kind of driving shots.
Yeah, and Sherwood's had a great season. They have 6 stops in 58 drives played. They're one of the biggest, minutes players for the Raiders. Good to see number 8, Madeline Machiski, getting up and walking off the pitch now. She's going to be okay.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to them on that play. I don't know if there's a head contact or something like that, but she's walking off a little gingerly, but looks all right. So that's good. Hopefully she'll be able to come back in soon.
And head ref Danny Yakub restarts play. Chicago getting another chance here. Byron Ing overthrows Taylor Hugate.
Wow. So we had some great plays there. Yakub beats out Jim Richard and then tries to beat Veronica Hoffman, but Hoffman catches it and then beats Makub back. It looks like Makub's going to be off room, and then Hoffman's going to be able to get control back here. But looks like Craig's on the fast break first. I think he's going to get it. Yes, goal by Craig on that one. Great play by Craig to make that turnover.
Yeah,
get that goal.
Really important to get into position after a midline turnover, and Lachlan Craig did that exactly right. Score is 110-20, I believe.
Oh, 120-20 according to the scoreboard.
Yeah! And Nathan Digman.
Yeah,
Soch went home.
Yeah.
So 130-20 now.
Yeah. Toronto had had dodgeball control on that play, but their beaters got dragged behind the hoops to hold on to that control, and Digman used that gap to drive in and shoot that shot on top hoop.
Yeah, Nathan Digman knows, how to attack a defense. Digman, the leading scorer for the Chicago Prowl this year with 25 goals, 17 assists, 20 stops. Just an outstanding season from Digman. Joe Lamb, another player who's been having a great season for the Raiders with the quad ball behind the hoops now.
Well, Toronto brought in Melchior. Oh, Melchior, it looks like that pass was intended for Melchior, but it's a little short and didn't make it.
Yeah, Digman was all over that. Scott Ing on the far side, but Digman is going to take that himself, and that's going to be 140-20 now to the Prowl.
Yeah, Melchior with the D on that one almost managed to shove Nathan out of that shot, but didn't get there just a second late. But yeah, Melchior's also a high scorer for Toronto.
Yeah, Melchior, just a presence for the Raiders for so long. 10 goals, 8 assists, a ridiculous 15 stops this season. Just, continues to be really central to, everything Toronto does.
Yeah, Melchior is definitely one of the size advantages that Toronto has, which is also good for against Chicago, as Chicago is not one of the definitely is not a larger team size-wise. They got a few people that are tall, but size-wise, they don't have many as big as Melchior, so Melchior is hard for Chicago to stop.
With the quad ball now, gets a screen from Lamb. Looks up top for number 24? 26?
That was 24.
24. Apologies, we do not have that number.
Oh yeah, check that at halftime. But yeah, looks like Melchior might have had that. It's just a little high on that pass.
Yeah, Melchior's a willing passer, can attack in multiple ways, as Liam Zock eats the tackle from Lamb, gets the quad ball out to Jairam. Jairam driving now on Melchior. Melchior makes a big hit, and that's going to be recovered by number 24 and then number 7, Joe Lamb.
Yeah, great play. The combination of the beat from Smith and then Melchior's D behind the hoops kind of put Jairam in a lose-lose situation there where they just had to shoot and hope for the best.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the effort from Toronto on defense. They're bringing a lot of commitment to their tackles as Melchior brings the quad ball up now.
Yeah, I think they're definitely adjusting to Chicago's offense, and might be a little late for this game, but it'd definitely be interesting to see what that adjustment's going to do game 2. Meanwhile, Liam punts to Jairam. Oh, they fumble it. Jairam's behind the hoops, trying to shoot. Oh, gets that shot off and somehow rolls
its way in. Yeah, Chicago gets the home field roll. And yeah, Jairam puts Chicago up 150-20.
Yeah. Ooh, hard play by Williams there, running through number 1.
And Toronto's going to keep the quad ball temporarily. Rousseau slaps it to Liam Zock, who's going to bring it up now for Chicago.
Yeah, I think that's just a good play to stop the fast break if the ball stays right there. So
Zock looks for Jairam, and Jairam misses the quad ball again. Case of the dropsies right now for Jairam.
That's rough. I don't know if Jairam's a little nervous, but yeah, great positioning, great pass by Liam to see that, but yeah, just...
He's Jairam's a veteran. He'll be fine. But
yeah, he'll shake it off. First game.
He'll get those back soon enough.
Yeah, gotta wash the sunscreen off the hands on him.
Tosses over to Gabriel Kwok. Kwok finds Lamb on the near side, who's been doing a lot of work, a lot of running on the ball.
Yeah, this matchup between Lamb and Kennedy is very interesting. Oh, what a pass!
Whoa!
Wow, what a pass by Lamb at 24 high enough to get over all the tall arms of Chicago, and then dunked right in. Great pass by Lamb.
Yeah, love the vision.
Oh, and then Chicago right back, same play from Kennedy. Kennedy showing she can pass too, just like Lamb.
Yeah, speaking of vision, Kennedy Murphy finds Grant Himmelman. They're both going to sub out now. The score is 160-30, Chicago Prowl. So Toronto finding some ways into the game, getting some goals, but by and large Chicago still controlling this game.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot more life out of Toronto after the 11-1 start. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting where Toronto takes it from here.
Yeah, it's been 50-20 since then. Gabriel Qua throws over to the far side. Number 24 looks for Melchior now. Melchior driving on Digman. And Byron Ings slots in and provides the defense, crucial defense on the far side hoop.
Yeah, it looked like all the bludgers were down, or all the dodgeballs were down for a second there, and then Toronto had a shot, but they held up Melchior long enough to get a beat out of nowhere. And it looks like we are going to go to halftime.
Yeah, that looks like the 20-minute mark. So both teams will discuss now. I know Chicago Prowl, a big part of their focus this weekend is developing their beaters without Tad Walters and Noyes Oshra on the roster this weekend. They're really looking at their depth. So this is going to be another situation, flag runner on pitch, where they get a chance to see how their beaters are performing heading into championships.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what Chicago does or who they put out there as beaters. They are missing, as we mentioned earlier before, Ted Walters and Noyes Osra. They're two starting beaters that they usually have in play for these snitch on pitch flag runner on pitch situations. So we're curious to see who Chicago puts up there and if they do anything differently.
Yeah, and quick correction that my wonderful partner Matt Melton just a little ran and got me. So number 24, who scored the last goal for the Toronto Raiders, is Sarah Dykstra. We had her at number 37, so that was a mistake. But a really nice finish there on the pass from Lamb.
Yep, great catch, great dunk. Toronto's going to need to do more like that. I think second half, now that they've kind of started to figure out Chicago's defense, I think they'll be doing more good looks like that.
Yeah, it's been encouraging from the Raiders. After that initial, it was an 11-0.
Yeah, it looks like it was 11-1, I think.
Yeah, but that first goal was the
Toronto
first
scored
of
the first
game.
one and then gave. Oh, you're right. I got you now.
So
yeah.
They've been finding their way back into the game, moving the ball well, finding the holes in the Chicago defense. They're going to have to try to do more of that.
I definitely think Toronto had some more looks at. I think Chicago got some luck that Toronto has not gotten any with shots, like on Chicago's side with shots getting deflected and going in. And then meanwhile, Toronto just had a few passes that went over players or a few times where they caught it and got beat right before they could release it. So I think the score might be the game might be a little closer than the score shows, but we'll find out game 2, I think.
I agree. So it looks like for Chicago, it's going to be Ojas Torikar and Mav Wolf beating.
Oh, yep. Maverick is new to the Chicago Prowl this year, straight off the CCC Columbia College Renegades.
And for Toronto, it looks like it's going to be the Taylors. Derek and Brittany Taylor beating to start flag runner on pitch.
Love to see it.
Our flag runner today is
Kevin Farley of Chicago United. If Kevin looks like a football player, that's because Kevin was a football player in high school, specifically a linebacker, which having practiced with him, I can attest, yeah, he can tackle like a linebacker. It hurt. It'll be very physical snitch, our flag runner, not the type of that's just going to run wind sprints and try to run away from chasers. I definitely see that there will be a little bit of that, but definitely the sort of flag runner who will be tossing the poor Seekers around. It will be very entertaining to watch. Speaking of the Seekers, we've got for Toronto, number 21, Savannah Campbell, and then for Chicago Prowl, that is number 77, Melanie Rolfe. Melanie Rolfe also has flag run for Chicago, has been a Seeker for Chicago earlier this season. I believe they had a catch against Detroit that was called back, and that was the closest they got to a catch this year. Unfortunately, it was game 2 as well. Unfortunately, it would have been huge if that one counted, because that was the one game Detroit won against Chicago this year.
So on the restart, Emma Vasquez brings it up and tosses out wide to Nathan Digman, who distributes to Ing, who finds Guyman, and that's a perfect offense. Chicago just cycles it around.
Yeah, that looks like a warm-up drill where it's just diagonal passing all around the field until you've got a wide open person next to the hoops.
It's 170-30 right now. Our set score is 220.
Try to get it between it.
Number 87, Lachlan Craig, trying to drive around Vasquez right now. Looks for the shot and just hits it.
Almost had it. I don't think Byron was in the right position to block that shot. That was a great shot by Craig.
And it looks like the Prowl have dodgeball control right now, although Mav Wolf is going to be beat out.
Yeah, it looks like Detroit has been maintaining. Yeah, Detroit has been doing a great job containing Toronto has been doing a great job maintaining their protective bubble around the flag runner, and Toronto's got way more looks so far than Ralph has on Chicago.
Yeah, really nice work by the Taylors here to set it up.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Chicago did score. 180-30 is the score right now.
Oh, great tackle by Vasquez to stop that. If Vasquez doesn't make that tackle, Craig's got a dunk. But Craig still gets through. Oh, no!
Just misses it.
Man, Toronto cannot get any luck on that. That was a great way to bust the tackle, 360 by Craig, and then shot it and just like an inch too high.
Yeah, the bounces have really all gone to Chicago in this game.
Oh, man. There's a joke about that doesn't go in on it, or that goes in on a shooty hoop, but it is a shooty hoop, so just aimed a little too high. Meanwhile, Farley, as flag runner right now, looks dominating. Does not look like a fun person to be a seeker against.
And Ali Manzella with the quad ball now finds Byron Ing, and that's another goal for Chicago. So they're going to go up 190-30. They only need 3 more goals or a flag runner catch to win.
Yeah, it looks like J-Rum is doing more defensive seeking than offensive seeking right now. Oh, but here comes the beaters. Oh, Sherwood and number 42 on Chicago Prowl. That is Camila Rodriguez. She's also MLQ rookie. She's on practice squad last year, got promoted this year.
Meanwhile, Peter McCoo and Emma Sherwood continue to have dodgeball control.
Oh, beat by McCoo. Oh, and a dodge. What a dodge.
Nathan Reed working with the quad ball behind the hoops now. Reed driving and misses barely. Just another shot.
I've never seen a team miss so closely.
I know. I feel. Quad ball's going to roll across the midline, so that's going to be a turnover. Ben Peachy's going to have it. He's got Ali Manziel on the far side. And Harold Evankula.
Meanwhile, Campbell for Toronto still getting some good looks at Farley. Oh, but Edvin Kula says that's enough of that.
And Peachy's going to find Manzella for the goal. Chicago up 200-30 right now.
I think it's up 40 for Toronto. But we have a player down for the Prowl. Looks like that beater Camila Rodriguez is down. Doesn't look too serious. So we mentioned coming into flag runner on pitch that Prowl was missing their top beater line, and it looks like it is causing issues because they have not been getting many looks at all. Toronto's been getting way more looks and way more time with Farley. Fortunately for Chicago, though, Farley has been extremely athletic at flag runner, and I've not seen anybody really get close to them. They look like they have tons of energy. So this could definitely be a game where Kevin Farley wins when they don't get caught. So.
Yeah, we're about 2 goals away from that right now.
Yep.
And Toronto still with the quad ball. That's number 0, Scott Rousseau, bringing the ball up.
Hey, they have a new seeker in, by the way.
Rousseau for the shot, blocked by Peachy.
That's okay. Hey,
Nathan
make sure to
Reed
keep his butt
working
to
on
our
Peachy
hoops.
now as
Zone him out.
Jairam works on the flag runner.
You got plenty of time. Just use your motor here.
Scott Rousseau flips over to Reed. Reed staring down Kennedy Murphy at point defense. And Rousseau overthrows number 8, Macheski.
There you go.
And it looks like we have a flag runner catch from Nivash Jairam.
I was missing Chaser game, so I missed it, but it was right in front of the camera, so I believe we're going to have a discussion about whether or not this is good. This would be, I believe, Jairam's first catch in MLQ. Yeah, solid catch.
And that's going to be game. So Nivas Jairam with his first ever catch in MLQ, we think. And that's going to give Chicago Prowl the game by a score of 255-30. So thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back in a few for game 2. Hello and welcome back to Schaumburg, Illinois for Game 2 between the Chicago Prowl and the Toronto Raiders. I'm Jack McGovern here with Matt Melton. Chicago took Game 1 convincingly to 55-30 with Nivas Jairam getting the flag runner catch. Heading into this Game 2, what do you think Toronto, who had some good spells later on in the game, but by and large, struggled to deal with the Chicago transition offense. What can they do here in Game 2 to keep this one a little bit closer?
Yeah, I think Toronto's score easily could have been closer to 80. It's like Toronto got a lot of bad luck with some shots just bouncing off the hoops and not going in, and some quick, very close plays that Chicago made to stop them from scoring. Whereas on the opposite side, Chicago got all the hometown luck. Had deflections that went in, had some passes from off the ground that went straight to players. So I think it's the second game, I would expect to be closer. Toronto did maintain dodgeball control for large swaths of the time. They did a good job of getting way more looks at seeker than Chicago did. So the beating game, I think, is pretty even, but I think chaser-wise, Toronto has not been able to really keep it close with Chicago's chaser line. So I think Toronto's going to need to really rely on their beaters and try and probably put their beaters, stick to the adjustments they made, where at the end of the game, they had their beaters more involved in the chasing game and not just not playing so conservatively, just trying to maintain control.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And I would add that I think their chasers, as the game went on, were getting better at supporting each other and being closer to each other in position on offense, so that they wouldn't get so isolated when they came under a press or heavy pressure from a beater. I thought they were starting to figure out how to work themselves out of jams in towards the end of Game 2. We saw that with the beautiful pass from Joe Lamb to Sarah Dykstra.
Yeah, wide across the top of the hoops, flying. I don't know how Lamb got that pass off of it, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, so if they can do more of that, I think Toronto will be in a really good position. Chicago, though, of course, has an ace in the hole, and that's that. After running that high press defense a couple times early in the game and finding a lot of success with it, they sat back after that. So I think Chicago will be heading into this game too, thinking we can always throw that high press defense at them.
That's a very good point. That press kind of ate Toronto up for the first 6 or 7 minutes of the game. Be curious to see if Toronto kind of figured it out, or if Chicago just stopped putting it in because they didn't want to burn out their players.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would assume we're going to see pretty quickly whether or not Chicago is going to run that press some more, and see if Toronto did figure it out, or as we mentioned, if they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if they got the chance to figure it out. I mean, I think Chicago made a really smart move in showing them the look and then pulling it back to not give them that chance to work through the kinks. I like to see that from coaches, rather than spamming a look until the other team figures it out, knowing when to pull back.
Yeah, it's a very good point, because it's especially in something like a press, it's like a high risk situation, because if you do a press and do it poorly, you're gonna give up an easy goal.
Yeah.
So
it looks like our head ref Danny Yakub is getting everyone set, and we are ready to start. So brooms up for our game 2 is going to be right now, and DME snatches that quad ball. Some heavy contact in the beater game. DME calmly tosses over to Ali Manzella.
Looks like Jerem just beat both beaters on Toronto, and now all 3 dodgeballs are on Chicago Prowl's side.
Peachy working on Reed, gets the contact, and DME slides over to Daragoman for the goal.
Yeah, there's with all 3 beaters, or with all 3 dodgeballs out of that play, it was basically just a same thing as like SOP chasing. So a lot of good passing like that from Chicago is going to result in a goal like that.
And it's Chicago Prowl with dodgeball control right now. That's Caleb Williams and Mike Maroic.
The Taylors are in for Toronto, looking to get control back. Looks like Toronto's attacking left side right now.
Joe Lamb bringing the quad ball up, doing so much high-quality ball handling in this game. Nathan Reed gets blocked by Peachy, and there's Peachy again with the deflection. I swear he has like 5 or 6 already.
Yeah, I don't know if Peachy's wingspan's 8'7", but it is definitely longer than your average player.
And he can do it on offense too. Ben Peachy with the goal for...
Oh no, they're calling it off beat before. There was a very sneaky beat in there from one of the Taylors.
They do that so well. They hang back, pretty conservative, and then they throw those beats at the right time.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Toronto's figured this out, because I think they weren't throwing in game 1, and later on they did start throwing, and they definitely stopped a couple goals that way with beat befores. It'd be curious to see if Toronto keeps that up, because it has been very effective for them so far.
Our score right now is 10-0 Chicago, a tighter defensive game here in game 2 so far. Nathan Reed with the quad ball. Reed throws to Dykstra, and Dykstra takes the shot and sinks it. So out of the 4 goals Toronto has scored, Dykstra has 2 of them.
Yeah, beautiful shot on that one. I think maybe it's that side of the field has all the luck. That one hit the hoop and rolled in. And meanwhile, DME just grabs the quad ball, throws a few fakes, and shoots it easily over center hoop. It seems like Toronto's is having difficulty slowing the Chicago Prowl offense when they don't have at least one dodgeball back.
Yeah, and Chicago is taking advantage of those opportunities on the fast break, really well.
Yes, for sure.
This has been a team that's good against no dodgeballs this season, good against 1 dodgeball, and nice to see DME back for the Prowl. Had 7 goals and 3 assists in 3 games so far. DME makes the tackle now. Ball comes out. Lamb gets beat by Caleb Williams, and Ben Peachy is running the other way now. Peachy surveying his options.
Taylor playing aggressively right there to stop the fast break. That's
yeah,
good play
I like
by Taylor's.
that play.
Yeah, I think that saved a goal, because I think if he plays passive, they're able to get some good passes off, but too close to the hoops to get stopped.
And Ali Manzella with the goal. Derek Taylor wanted the beat call on Mike Maroic there, who took out one of the hoop defenders. But Ali Manzella able to capitalize. So 30-10 right now, Chicago.
Yeah, I think that's Dara Gurman with the assist on that. Great pass by her as well to see Ali making that cut right there for the easy Manzella goal. Oh, Guyman. Mispronounced Dara. Sorry, Dara.
Lamb bringing the quad ball up on the far side. Over to Melchior, tries to get it to Reed. Ben Peachy's going to force the turnover. No.
Peachy knocked it across, I guess.
So Reed
Oh.
now is going to step over the midline, and that's going to be a turnover.
Yeah. So since the ball went over, I believe it's like a no harm no foul. You give Peachy that fast break, and then since Peachy was the first one who touched it, now it's a Chicago drive, so it's no longer a turnover possibility for that. But as you just mentioned, Reed did cross back over and then run in a circle behind the hoops, and that was a turnover.
So Peachy misses the shot. The bad luck on the
Yeah, the bad
red
it
side
seems
continues.
to be on the side, and it's not the hoops because we switched hoops at halftime. So maybe it's just the luck. I don't know if they're playing into the sun or what, but looks like we're gonna have a small stoppage right here. We had a dodgeball that was halfway to Illinois. I'm sorry, halfway to Southern Illinois. That's the downfall of turf fields. Lovely to play on. A little warmer, and balls will roll and fly out forever.
Speaking of balls,
Balls
flying
forever,
out.
yeah. Melchior with the punt on that one. A little too high for the chaser they were aiming for.
Dar Guyman bringing up the quad ball now.
Hands off to Murphy. Chicago does a full line switch hockey style, and now we'll have 6 brand new players on the pitch.
Beating pair is Richard and Hoffman with dodgeball control. For Toronto, it looks like McCoo and Sherwood.
It looks like Chicago has control. Oh, great awareness by Ing on that one to know they were going to get beat, and they passed it because it would have been an unscoreable quaffle if they went for the shot. Meanwhile, Murphy to J-Rum, and J-Rum on that one catches it with a quick shot for a goal.
Yeah, J-Rum getting it back.
Make it up for
really
the-
nice redemption arc. A couple drops, then a flag runner catch. Now a goal here in game 2.
Yeah, they had us. J-Rum had us in the first game, but it looks like they're turning around for games 2 and 3.
And
quick
Richard
beat by Richard.
beating Melchior. Quack recovers.
Yeah, running down. Oh, what a dodge by Quack. Oh, no, I thought Quack had it. It looked
did
good.
too. I
If
did
Quack
too.
would have played it off, I'd have let him go.
In with the quad ball now.
Oh.
Tries to find Zoc, but J-Rum recovers.
Oh.
And that's going to be blocked.
That was a sneaky block there by the beater, number 9, Maduros.
That's Levi Medeiros.
Yeah. Just put their dodgeball in the way and then let it go and to deflect the shot. Looked like that would have been a better play if Prowl slows that down. I don't think they had enough chasers to go against against Melchior and a bunch of and a beater at the same time.
Yeah, this has definitely been a tougher game for Chicago. It's 40-10 right now. Prowl in the lead, but Toronto mounting a tougher test on defense for sure. Gabriel Kwok with the quad ball takes the shot, rims off the top of the hoop. And
2 shots.
yeah, 32. Christos Caldas takes the shot, but that's no good, and that's going to end the possession.
Yeah, it was a hard shot for Caldas on that one with Liam on their back, or somebody from Prowl on their backs. I think it was J-Ram. But also, though, shot by Kwok, I thought that shot went in. So.
Byron Ing swings around to Liam Zoc. Zoc tries to get it through the hoops from the ground. Ing, though, finds J-Ram, and that's a goal.
Yeah, quick catch and shot by J-Ram. I think they shook off their game 1 jitters for sure.
Yeah, and that's a combination. Those players who played so well last year for the Prowl have really just continued that success this season as Chicago takes a 50-10 lead.
Yep, Prowl is picking up right where they left off from last year. They are the runner-ups last year at MLQ Championships and looking to get back there this year.
Christos Caldas driving now, takes the contact from J-Ram. Kwok gets around Ing. Wrapped up by Zoc, and quad ball's going to come out to Byron Ing now.
It looks like Ing is slowing the pace down for the Prowl. Oh, they're subbing. And Toronto, meanwhile, is making some subs of their own. Looks like they got a new beater in, number 23, Isabel Kirby, along with Taylor's remaining in. That is Derek, specifically, not Brittany. Oh, high contact on that one to Kaylee.
Yeah, take some contact up high.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right. Those ones hurt.
Definitely didn't look intentional at all. It looks like Kwok was just trying to make a play, but there's definitely some arm. Kaylee definitely took Fugate definitely took an arm to the face on that play. So looks like Danny comes over to check on Fugate and calls no foul. Quack seemed mostly stationary on that one. So
And Caldas driving now on Digman. Digman grabs the arm and strips the quad ball. That's a great defensive play by Nathan Digman.
Oh, and then he dodges the beat. And he's going to passes to Himmelman. Nice run by Himmelman.
So selfless from Nathan Digman.
Yeah, dodges the beat and gets that wide open pass to Himmelman. Great job for Himmelman on that play to run with him. Otherwise, if Nathan has to finish, or if Digman has to finish that play, it might not go as well. So great fast break play. In Himmelman's case, way to be, young 20s and running at full speed. Always great. I miss it.
Yeah. And Digman, the leader for Chicago heading into the season in all statistical categories.
Some flag runner catches. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. But 17 assists heading into the weekend. So Digman just continuing to do it all for Chicago as he gets a block on cue.
And I'm gonna go with an assist on that one to Emma.
Yeah, he's
gonna take it himself. Yeah, I think they had the. Caldas had the shot blocked on that one. And then Toronto did have a chaser ready to actually block that. So Toronto did do a very good job on that play of getting back and actually making it an even 2-on-2 situation and making Chicago work for that goal a little bit.
Yeah, so it's 70-10 Chicago now. So after a tight opening sequence to this game, Chicago has created some separation now.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Toronto has adjusted from game one, but they're still having problems keeping Chicago off the scoreboard and getting themselves on it. So we got some more sub changes in there. Derek Taylor's still in, but their new beater partner is number 29, Brittany Taylor. So it is Taylor and Taylor again.
And they're going to go to work against Camille Rodriguez and Howard Evan Kula.
Yep, line looks like a new beater pair for Chicago, but the chases are remaining the same.
Luck and Craig with the quad ball.
See if Craig had some bad luck. He had some good plays, but some bad luck.
Yeah.
Easily could have had 3 goals last game. So
He's really fast.
Yeah. Squirrely guy. Very fast. Runs around. Hard to tackle. Just don't run into Liam because they can tackle anyone.
Craig trying to get past Vasquez.
Oh, what a pick.
Great screen from McMillan.
Oh, Craig danced too low. Wait.
And the shot, again, just barely too low. There's going to be a whistle on the tackle by Himmelman.
This might be on Craig. Yes. Yeah, unsporting conduct on Craig for Himmelman tackled Craig, and then Craig grabbed their broom and tossed it about 3 or 4 meters.
Can't do that.
Yeah, that's a no. You gotta drop the broom. Well, honestly, you shouldn't have the other team's broom in your hand. But if you somehow wind up with it, just drop it instead of toss it like they did. So I think they might have been upset about that tackle, but good shot they got off too while being tackled. So it looks like they just had Chicago's defense was able to bottle Craig up and not give them an easy shot in time before the beaters got back into play. So
yeah, head coach for the Toronto Raiders, Sinan Kadar, is just going to walk onto the pitch and get everything under control. As Howard Evan Kula pump fakes, gets Derek Taylor to drop the quad ball, and the pass from Digman to Vasquez just barely rims out. Digman with the quad ball now, steps back.
Yeah, great defense on that one by Lauren Matheson to stop that Emma Vasquez goal.
And Digman drives through the hoop defender.
Kayla Shantz.
And gets the goal to put Chicago up 80-10. Digman heard the beat from Camilo Rodriguez on the far side and went.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shantz is not as lucky on that one. Harder to guard that high hoop against a taller opponent. So,
Shantz, one of a couple players for the Raiders making their debut this season, or their MLQ debut any season. Shantz is a first-year player as well.
Yeah, it's around this time where Toronto maintained dodgeball control for a fair amount of time, and they have not been able to do that this game. Chicago's had dodgeball control pretty much the entire game at this point.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, we're running the same beater lines, so.
Yeah, William McMillan, another player making their debut for Toronto, taking the quad ball around the far side.
Oh, Craig's
Gets
up
a
top.
screen from Chance.
Oh, they're looking for something. Oh, fumbles the ball.
And Guyman's going to make the tackle, and Quadball's going to come out, and Ben Peachy is running the other way.
Oh,
Gets a
Craig
beat
gets
from
beat,
Rodriguez, and that's going to be an easy goal for Peachy.
Yeah, great beat by Edmund Kula to free up that run, and there was nobody to stop Peachy after that. That was just lost the McMillan just lost the ball behind the hoops. Looks like they might have had some brewing there with Craig up front.
80-10 Chicago now. Toronto walking the quad ball up. McMillan really positive in his debut.
Yeah, they had a lovely pick a few plays ago and has been keeping it pretty active. Good pass behind the hoops. We got
That's Macheski.
shot.
Macheski takes a shot.
Oh, it looks like Toronto's going to recover.
Chance
it.
recovers it. Takes a
Oh.
tackle from Peachy, and ball's going to come out to Chicago.
It's
It's
like-
DME jogging up the pitch
Yeah, I
now.
think every chaser on Toronto got beat on that play.
Yeah, really good
Oh.
work from the
Rodriguez.
Prowl beaters.
Bad throw by Rodriguez. Great beat by Brittany Taylor. I think, yeah, the Toronto got the dodgeball control back, but another goal for Chicago.
And again, textbook offense from the Chicago Prowl. DME flips to Melanie Rolfe. Rolfe finds Peachy behind the hoops. This Prowl team just always makes the extra pass.
Yep, always take advantage of the situation too. They saw that Toronto was that they were losing control, but the beaters were out of the play, so they did the best thing they could and just run in for a quick goal, and then get set up on D against control.
Score is 100-10 right now. Chicago Prowl in the lead. Joe Lamb behind the hoops. Mike Morowick with a dodgeball.
Oh, looks like Lamb's trying to pass to Craig as Craig was running past them.
Lamb pump fakes, tries to get around Guyman.
Guyman
Gets the quad ball out.
Gets beat. Oh.
Yeah, McCoo provides some assistance there with the tap beat.
Oh,
Lamb
Melchior.
over to Melchior, but what a play by DME. That's a pick six.
That's a pick six. I didn't even know. Mercer Ellis came out of this stadium next door for that play. Just flew out of nowhere, catches the ball one-handed and runs it down. That's just not. I don't know. I don't know how to blame that. I can't blame him for that one.
Yeah.
DME was like behind the hoops and somehow flew forward to read that play perfectly and intercept that ball and just take off running.
There's probably, one or two players in all of quad ball who can make that play, and DME is one of them.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Joe Lamb.
Yeah, extensive basketball experience on that one helped a lot too. I think they saw that play developing.
Yeah. Brian Melchior with the quad ball now. Flips back to Joe Lamb.
Lamb across to, is that Dijkstra? Yep, Dijkstra. Dijkstra back up to, is that Russo? Yep,
Yeah.
Scott Russo. Ooh, getting close to
So
one.
getting
Beat at the
pressured
front.
by Morowick. Melchior recovers. Tackled by Peachy, or wrapped by Peachy, and
Punts.
yeah, nice play by Melchior though, not to turn the ball over.
If
at
Melchior
midfield.
loses the ball right there or gets pushed across, it's a fast break the other way. So, good job of salvaging what they could from that play.
Rolfe finds Peachy behind the hoops.
Peachy
looking for Guyman, and that's another goal.
Yeah.
Chicago just surgically picking apart the Toronto defense right now.
Yeah. It seems like Toronto's crowding the inside and they left Guyman open there on the outside for that catch and dunk. Chicago's passing has just been on point so far, game two. It seems like Toronto has made adjustments and Chicago just made better passes to get around those adjustments and has maintained dodgeball control for pretty much the entire game at this point.
And that's going to be a turnover by Toronto. So if you're just joining us, Chicago Prowl up 120-10 right now in game two. The Prowl won game one, 255-30. So after a tight early period of this game two, a similar result here in game two so far.
Ooh, Medeiros there almost got the ball out of Richard's hands.
Kennedy finds Zoc. Zoc working on Lamb. Zoc takes a shot, and that's going to go low and out of bounds. So turnover.
Yep. Decent look there for Chicago, but it looks like Richard lost control. And it looks like Levi Medeiros just stole that ball from Richard. Meanwhile, Sherwood recovers the other one, and Toronto, for the first time, probably the first time this game, has stable control of both dodgeballs.
Yeah.
Now Melchior is bringing it up. Let's see what Toronto can do now that they got control on this play. Hoffman's on the hoops with the only dodgeball for Chicago, and it's looks like Chicago chasers though did rotate.
Yeah, Madero's a converted beater, was one of the speediest chasers in the league the past couple seasons for the Raiders, but taking his talents to the beating position this summer.
Lamb with the fake out of Neva Sharam, but tries to pass to a player as they're getting beat. But covered by Ing, passes it off to Liam and Zach, and now we're going upfield.
Kennedy Murphy brings the quad ball up, and it looks like Chicago has recovered dodgeball control. Richard and Hoffman.
Yep. Oh, but Harris, the beat from behind. Or gets beat from behind, excuse me.
And that's Shiram. Swings behind the hoops to Byron Ing. Ing's manned by Russo. And finds Murphy, but that's gonna just miss narrowly.
Yeah, great cut. I think she just lost control trying to put it through that middle hoop.
And dodgeball control back with Toronto now, so...
yeah, I think Madero's really fighting and getting control back. Doing a great job of getting control for Toronto.
And his hands are on his knees on the sideline. He's put in a really tough shift in this hot weather on the turf here.
Yeah, easily one of the best shifts for Toronto Raider this game at the beat game.
Nathan Reed trying to get a screen from Lamb. Quadball's going to come out, but Jim Richard is all over that.
Reed recovers though. Toronto did lose dodgeball control. Shot from Melchior. I'm saying no good.
I think the Toronto bench thought that was in, but just a little bit low.
Yeah, the side AR did too, but I believe the goal ref and the head ref were in line with it and they called it no good.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
It's a good opportunity for Melchior. Melchior made a great move to cut inside on the chaser that kind of gave him a little too much space inside and get a fairly easy shot off on center hoop. Meanwhile, new beaters in Otis Tortikar and Maverick Wolf for Chicago, and they just walk it right in. It looks like nobody got in front of Liam. I don't know where the keeper was in that play, but yeah, they basically just walked that right towards the small hoop.
And that's going to put the score at 130-10. So Chicago in control here in game 2. Sarah Dykstra bringing the quad ball up now. As Lamb checks out after another long shift for the veteran Toronto chaser.
Yep. It looks like the Raiders are running 1.5.
Soldiers, look at you!
Yeah, that's way too much contact there from Otis Torikar in that one. Honestly, that was a veteran play. Taylor was pushing against Torikar and kept pushing harder and harder, and then let go, and Torikar ran them over. So that was Taylor basically baited Torikar into that yellow and got it. That was a great play by Taylor to get that penalty. So now Maverick Wolf is going to be all alone as the sole Chicago Prowl beater for right now.
Yeah, Taylor, the savvy veteran beater. Let's see how he works this power play opportunity.
That is like a quad ball version of the old man at the YMCA play right there. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved it. We're going to have to explain that one to Torikar afterwards.
Toronto, unfortunately, is going to turn the quad ball back over, so Chicago will have the chance to kill some time now as Digman signals exactly that to his line. Digman distributes to the far side to Emma Vasquez. Vasquez throws behind the hoops to Himmelman.
Oh, deep pass back up to Nathan Digman. Looks like Chicago's taking it slow, trying to buy time to get Torikar back out of the box.
Yeah, as they should. Himmelman now coming under pressure from Taylor. Finds Fugate.
Himmelman gets beat though, so now we're going to see Toronto's moving it up. They're going to throw a press here.
And Derek Taylor is signaling to his team to cover Kaylee Fugate. The Raiders remain keyed in on Digman, and it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, I think Nathan ran in on that one, and Vasquez ran in as if it was trying to go for a scoring attempt, but there was no scoring attempt. It was more of a punt. But Nathan throws it behind the hoops, and it ends up going out of bounds into Toronto, but without a fast break.
Yeah, and Torikar back in the game now, so kills the penalty.
Yeah, we'll see if they can who maintains dodgeball control now that we've got 2-on-2 on both sides in the beater game.
Christos Caldas directing traffic for the Raiders. Finds Reed on the near side. Reed motioning to Sarah Dykstra.
It looks like Toronto's switched to a box formation now.
Reed under pressure from Digman. Digman trying to get the tackle, has the wrap, and it's going to bring Reed down. And that's going to be the 20-minute mark. So tough break for the Raiders. Tough way to end the half.
Yep.
A nice defensive tackle by Digman. Looks like Toronto head coach San Kedar is talking to the refs about that play.
Yeah, I think they're asking for a yellow card for lifting on that tackle. I believe Danny's explaining away why they didn't call it. I can see it either way. I think it's more they were just trying to bring him to the ground, and then Reed kind of just somersaulted to kind of just land in a preferred position for them. On Toronto's side, it's hard to explain how Toronto looks to me like they're playing better than Game 1 and still have less goals than Game 1. I feel like they still get that same bad luck of balls just being so close to going in and not going in. But I will say they definitely don't have anywhere near as much dodgeball control as they did Game 1.
Yeah, and they've held Chicago to about 50 fewer goals, I think, too.
Yep.
So
5 goals, 50 points, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 50 points.
That's a slight exaggeration there.
So there's something to show for it, but I agree. I mean, it's I think they're better. They're playing better on offense as well, and the results just haven't been there.
Yeah, because I think on the unfortunate side is Chicago is playing better as well. So Game 1 we had some drops that weren't going in, and this time those all went in. All their shots are going in. I think we really haven't seen any turnovers for the Prowl until the last couple of plays. So I feel like probably just Toronto turned it up, and then Prowl did as well. So it's a rough game for Toronto to just be playing better and then not seeing it on the scoreboard. Well, I guess they are seeing it on the scoreboard, though. Not offensively, but defensively they are.
Yeah, very clean from the Prowl. And they're going to look to continue that in flag runner on pitch. If
for sure.
You're the Chicago Prowl, what are you looking to accomplish here on flag runner on pitch?
A catch. That's what you always want with a flag runner on pitch. Probably faster, though. All in all, I would say Toronto got more looks than Chicago did. I think Chicago just got them later in the period where the flag runner was a little more tired, and that's part of the reason they were able to catch with less time. But I would definitely want, if I'm Chicago, to get more time alone with the seeker on the flag runner. I feel like Toronto established a bubble and maintained it for the entire first rotation of flag runners for Chicago. Not something that they want to see if you go to a situation at championships where it's tied and that catch basically determines the game. So if I'm probably really want to work on that, work on having my beaters interacting with our seekers and making sure that they're all working together to maintain a protective bubble around the flag runner, so that if there is a catch, they're the ones who get it.
Yeah, and they're going to be putting heavy pressure on the Raiders. They've shown in flag runner and pitch that they can get up and down the field, really quickly, and they can start to run up that score, especially with the beaters on the flag runner. This Chicago Prowl team is really difficult to stop. They know how to execute against no dodgeballs, and I expect that to continue here in Game 2.
Yeah, change in strategy here for both teams, it looks like. They had Melanie Roth and Savannah Campbell were the seekers for Game 1, and now we're switching over to Christian Caldos from Toronto and Nivash Jairam for Chicago. So it looks like they're changing up the seeking game from the start. Jairam was the one who got the catch Game 1. We'll see how they're able to do it if they get the same amount of looks, but with a fresher flag runner.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if Nivash Jairam can get hot here at seeker, perhaps. Nivash Jairam has had a really good season, 12 goals, 4 assists, 6 stops, and now 1 flag runner catch. So
doing it all out there. Kevin Farley back at it again as our flag runner. Now sporting shooting hoops magnetic shorts. I gotta stick in the product placement.
Oh, of course. Ben Peachy driving now. Led by Craig.
Brittany Taylor back on D as a beater for Toronto. I'm curious if they're going to be playing. Oh no!
Now it looks
Oh yeah. It's like great play by her though to realize that there's no catching imminent and to drop back on D because as soon as she left, Chicago does score.
And an easy offense for the Chicago Prowl. And
Oh,
a nice
but there's
response
Craig
by the Toronto Raiders. So
Craig's biggest weakness has been going against the beaters. But if there's no beaters, there you go.
Yeah, so the score right now is 140 to 20. Our set score is 190. Ali Manzella looking for DME now. DME is going to slot it home, so that's going to make it 150 to 20 now.
What a great pass there by Manzella to the cutting Mersak Ellis. I believe that might be her first assist of the year. I'll have to check on that.
There you go, drive.
Oh, Kevin Farley showing his. I don't know if it looks like they wrestled to me. I don't know.
And that's a goal for Toronto. That's Lachlan Craig to number 38, Lauren Matheson for the Raiders. So that's going to make it 30 to 150.
Yeah, do that both sides with Matheson. She had a lovely stop with Vasquez earlier.
That's right. And speaking of lovely offense,
oh man,
that's DME to Ali Manzella.
Yeah, just the reverse of the last play. Great play there.
Hey, we gotta go, Seeker.
Yeah, really selfless offense by the Chicago Prowl. 160 to 30 now. And Christos Caldas is getting lots of time with the flag runner.
Yeah, amazing dodge on that throw by Williams too. They ducked under it just in time to not get their head knocked off. Great dodge by Caldas on that one.
Caldas has been one of the best seekers in MLQ this season. 4 runner catches heading into the weekend. That's in 6 games.
That's top 5, I believe.
Yeah, it must be. So Caldas is definitely a player to watch.
Yeah, and they got one more series to add a few more on.
Yeah, and it's their biggest series against the Minneapolis Monarchs.
That's going to determine third seed or fourth seed.
Yeah, determine third seed.
Definitely could help them out at come NFL 6. Oh, looks like Caldas got beat and Zach out of nowhere trying to go for the catch.
So Zach with the runner catch, potential runner catch. Zach, of course, had the catch in Game 3 against the New York Titans in the semifinals last season.
Yeah, the catch out of nowhere, the part of the 40-point swing in 15 seconds that propelled Chicago Prowl to the finals.
Probably the most exciting sequence of quad ball I've ever seen.
I'd hate to be the person who just like went for a bathroom break right before that happened and missed Zach going under the legs to catch a dill.
And that's going to be game. So the flag runner catch by Liam Zach is good. That's going to make the score 195 to 30. So that's going to be our final here in Game 2. We will be back in a few for Game 2. We will not stop the stream this time, so we'll be back in a few minutes for Game 3. Chicago takes it 185? No, 195 to 30.
195, yeah, they should have it updated. But yeah, 195 to 30, and see you next game. Where's Jen?
Quadball 1 up. Give him a second.
And welcome back to Schaumburg, Illinois for Game 3 between the Chicago Prowl and the Toronto Raiders. Chicago Prowl have taken the first 2 games by convincing margins. First one was 225-30, I believe, and the second game
195-30.
was 195-30. Jack McGovern here with Matt Melton.
Hello.
Our head ref is Danny Yakub, checking with both teams.
The Toronto Raiders, and they're leaning into the raccoon trash panda jokes.
Yeah, that's the Raiders mascot being a raccoon, otherwise known as a trash panda. Doing the eat trash chant. So DME with the quad ball now, tosses to Ali Manzella on the near side. Manzella flips to Peachy. Then Peachy, working on Sarah Dykstra now, cycles around to Dara Guyman. Peachy now blocked by Dykstra, so Peachy gets a taste of his own medicine. Had about 4 or 5 blocks earlier in the series.
The irony.
And Dykstra gets it back, but Ali Manzella is going to recover the quad ball, and Gary Mersick-Ellis now trying to get past Dykstra on the backside. DME throws over to Peachy, who gives the touch pass to Guyman, and that's a beautiful goal from the Chicago Prowl.
Yeah, great job Chicago Prowl to maintain possession and find that wide open shot after some good passing. And they got dodgeball control back as well.
Yeah, pretty much a perfect possession from the Chicago Prowl to go up 10-0. Brian Melchior bringing the quad ball up. Yeah, throws to Lamb on the far side. Lamb's met by number 35, I believe that's Mav Wolf. And Wolf's going to force the turnover. DME running up now.
Intended for Dykstra, and DME just snuck out of
Clear of the dodgeball, finds Manzella. Manzella pump fakes, gets around Melchior, and scores. Ali Manzella with the goal.
Yeah, Manzella gets Melchior to jump and then runs around him and hits the center hoop for the goal. Great play by Ali to fake Melchior out there.
And Melchior spins the quad ball on his finger. Melchior getting some more ball handling reps here in Game 3. Longtime ball handler for the Toronto program. And Ojas Turkar is going to force Lamb out of the play. But Nathan Reed is going to get the quad ball back up top. Ben Peachy meets Melchior, wraps him. Melchior trying to shake free, finds Dykstra at the top. Veronica Hoffman runs out to meet Dykstra, and that's going to be a turnover. So really nice defensive possession from the Chicago Prowl there.
Yeah, they forced that pass to nobody because there literally was nobody there. Everybody else on Toronto was beat, so might have been their best play at that time was just a punt. Ferocious defense by Chicago on that one. They were just constantly throwing everything at anybody that had the ball, and Toronto wasn't able to cycle their players back in quick enough to maintain possession.
Yeah, really nice possession from the Illini beating pair of Ojas Turkar and Veronica Hoffman. Really nice to see.
Yes.
Kennedy Murphy tosses over to Liam Zock. Zock stiff arms Lamb. Looks for Murphy, and that is an easy goal for the Chicago Prowl.
If you're wondering why Reed wasn't making the defense there, that was because as that pass was flying at that hoop to Murphy, Reed got beat and had to walk angrily back to the center hoop to tag back in while Kennedy dunked it in.
So Chicago goes up 30-0 here in Game 3. Melchior throws over to Sarah Dykstra on the far side.
Dykstra behind hoops to Lamb.
Yeah, Lamb trying to get past Murphy. Murphy staring her down.
Oh!
And Murphy's going to strip the quad ball. A really great stop from Kennedy Murphy there.
Stripped the quad ball and then boxed Lamb out to recover it from the ground. What a play by Murphy. Great
Kennedy Murphy, one of the best defensive players for the Chicago Prowl program.
Definitely a player that they missed last year while she was injured.
Murphy, hands off to Zock. Zock looks for Jairam cutting in on the far side. Jairam stuffed by Melchior. Ing gets it on the second chance, and that is 40-10 for Chicago as Ing hops off on one foot. Looks like he's cramping up.
Yeah, it looks like a lower calf cramp. Hopefully they're all right. It's just that. Great play by Ing to get the rebound off the block and put it in for the third time. Great.
So this is a no dodgeball opportunity for Toronto right now. Dykstra gets Himmelman in the air, but not able to get past Zoc.
Oh, and Toronto throws it back up top.
Yeah, really nice work from Sherwood and McCoo here to get the no dodgeball opportunity and recover control. Looks for Caldas on the near side, and Caldas with the athletic play to get around the Chicago defender.
Evil dunk. Great dunk by Caldas. Just jumped and just right over the top of Himmelman.
And that's going to bring the score to 30-10 now. So
Yep.
Toronto gets on the board for the first time. Excuse me, 40-10.
Oh, misbeat there by Sherwood. Goes for a tackle. Admirals beats him, and now Himmelman's on the outside. Passes it around. Oh, overthrows his intended target, and it's going to roll out of bounds.
As the Toronto bench does a nice little coordinated jump there upon the turnover. Love to see that.
What did they do with the jump and the spin?
Oh, they jumped up in the air and spinned on the turnover, I think.
Oh, turnover. There we go. There we go.
Love to see it. Nathan Reed now with the quad ball, working together with Caldas at the point, working behind Levi Medeiros. That's Lauren Matheson with the quad ball now.
Oh, Medeiros
Matheson throws to Savannah Campbell. Caldas now trying to find Reed, but Nivas Jairam jumps the lane and forces the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like Medeiros got control back for Toronto, but I guess they were called beat, and we're not able to get it. Himmelman driving, passes it off to wide open Jairam, and Jairam's back. And it's a good thing we're playing Toronto and they have passports because they're going to need it to get that ball that Jairam just yeeted through the hoops.
Jairam puts the score at 50-10 now.
Yep. Meanwhile, Chicago Prowl does a full line change for the Chasers while that ball was rolling off the pitch.
Caldas walking the quad ball up the pitch. Finds Campbell behind the hoops. Campbell throws over to Kwok, and Kwok is met by Grant Himmelman. A really nice play by Himmelman. Although Matheson now recovers it. And Caldas now looking for the shot, takes it, and that's going to sail wide.
Hey, Lauren, good distribution. Way to get that ball out.
We're at 7-13.
And 7 minutes into the game, Nathan Digman's going to walk the quad ball up. First shift for Digman. DME is going to come back out on the pitch. So I believe this is the first time we're seeing Digman and DME play together today.
Yeah, that's kind of unfair. I think there's like 13 feet of height between the two of them. And wingspans at least 15. That's evil. But Digman's general top of the pitch, looking around. We'll pass it to a cutting Emma Vasquez, who manages to get the ball off. Yeah, she lost her broom but got the throw off, but it looks like it was a turnover.
Yeah, nice play by Caldas to see what Digman and Vasquez were trying to do there and, meet the pass.
Yeah, I think Chicago was trying to get a cut, and they didn't have beaters making the play at the same time.
Score is 50-10 Chicago. Gabriel Kwok working on the far side, looks for Lauren Matheson. Matheson wrapped by Fugate, and that's going to be a turnover to DME. DME trying to get past Campbell. Slows it up now.
Good play by Campbell to stop that.
2 dodgeballs back for Toronto. That's Kieran Smith and Grace Davey. So, and it looks like Kieran Smith's going to beat out Nathan Digman behind the hoop. So, Chicago is going to have to work with 3 quad ball players here. Emma Vasquez now trying to kill some time, get Digman back into the play. She jukes Matheson. Digman's back in the play now. really nice work from Emma Vasquez to preserve this possession for her team. And just as I say that, Lauren Matheson makes an outstanding tackle to force the turnover.
Yeah, great tackle by Matheson there. Vasquez tried to cut back and could not with Matheson there. And then the beater closed DME. Brittany Taylor there with the beat to stop DME from recovering the ball. So good defense by Toronto behind the hoops on that one.
Chicago running the other way now. Savannah Campbell met by DME and quad ball goes to Digman. So Digman taking it up fast, but Toronto's got 2 dodgeballs back. Caleb Williams now and Mike Morowick in the game for Chicago. Morowick takes the beat on Davey. But Davies, and there's going to be a stoppage here. Head ref Danny Yakub must have saw something.
It's like a beater penalty. Not just a turnover.
So I believe the dodgeball is going to go to Mike Morowick for Davey not attacking up. And Digman's going to take advantage of that and put the score at 60-10.
Yeah, it's likely not properly dismounting for the tag up.
So Digman, the top scorer, leader in all statistical categories for the Prowl heading into the weekend.
All of them, really?
Except flag runner catches.
I was gonna say turnovers, but I got that one on lockdown.
The good statistical categories: goals, assists, and stops. For chasers, I should say too.
Gotcha.
No, of course.
Stellar beater plus minus.
Yeah. Dimmy meets Lachlan Craig behind the hoops, brings him down.
There you go, hustle.
Toronto might have recovered it. No.
There you go.
Mercic Ellis recovers it. And line change here for Chicago. Now we're going to replace Nathan with Peachy, so there's still 13 feet between the 2 tall chasers on Chicago.
And Chicago with a real height advantage in this series.
Yeah, unless Melchior's on the pitch, yes.
Hey, relax.
Ooh, some frustration in the beater
yeah,
game
Williams
for
and
Chicago.
Morowick from Chicago are very upset about something that just went down, and now they're bringing people into this. Head ref Danny Yakub's bringing it in the ARs to discuss. We could see a lot of things here. We could see whatever, maybe an AR did see what they missed. We could also see Morowick or Williams getting a yellow card. MLQ does not take kindly to loud yelling at their refs. So we'll see what they give on this one.
Yeah, and Chicago head coach Kennedy Prowl just takes a moment to talk to Williams and Morowick. Get everything under control. Yeah, it's going to be a yellow card on number 1 Grace Davey for playing after beat. So 1 dodgeball is going to go back to Chicago. Both dodgeballs are going to go back to Chicago now. 1 will be at the hoops for Mike Morowick when he tags in. Caleb Williams looking to trade with McCoo now. Pump fakes. Takes the beat. McCoo is now free to try to meet Guyman. And McCoo's going to first force the turnover with the beat on DME. Now a chance for the Toronto Raiders to run. But Mike Morowick is there to force the turnover. Dara Guyman with the quad ball now.
Yeah, there's a lot of dodgeballs being cycled right now, and it looks like Chicago probably might end up with control. Or no, Toronto Raiders will. Oh! Peter McCoo was going for a beat on Caleb Williams, and Williams jumped at just the right time to dodge the beat and then grab the last dodgeball. So it looks like control is going to end up with the Prowl.
Yeah, McCoo, nevertheless, putting in a really good shift here for the Raiders at beater. Holding strong with their partner out.
Yeah, McCoo's been one of the players to watch for this weekend. I think they've done a good job. Probably the best out of the Toronto beaters at trying to keep the beater game even between the 2 teams.
Yeah, had I believe the second best plus minus heading into the series for the Raiders with +8, and he was their leader in average dodgeballs too. As Ben Peachy steps up and puts the quad ball through, so that's going to put the score 70-10. As Toronto runs the other way now, and that's going to be a turnover. Chicago Prowl, Ben Peachy, driving again and finishing again to put the Prowl up 80-10. So Chicago continuing to find a lot of success, forcing turnovers and running in transition. Maroic and Williams have dodgeball control now. A chance looks to McMillan behind the hoops. McMillan tries to find Craig. Maroic makes the beat, and Chicago running the other way. Mercic Ellis catches with one hand and slots it home. Chicago goes up 90-10 now, so a really good spell from the Prowl the past couple minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of unfair on that play. That was just Peachy deep to DME for a touchdown. DME was able to look back at the, also avoid any incoming beats as well. Just a great fast break.
And the Raiders have no dodgeballs right now, and Maroic's going to step up and force the turnover. Really nice recognition from Chicago Prowl beaters. An awesome shift from Maroic and Williams to get dodgeball control back and then put maximum pressure on the Raiders, force a couple turnovers, create a couple goals. Really well done.
Yeah, I feel like Toronto just never was able to feel comfortable that entire 3-minute set by Chicago.
And Kennedy Murphy puts it through as she's taken down.
I
think that should count.
I'm going to say I don't think Kennedy put it through. I think the loop encircled Kennedy. There's a lot of ways this could go. In my opinion, it should be blue card on Melchior for taking the hoop out before Kennedy could do anything. We'll see what the refs say. I think the hoop was more than dislodged when it went around Kennedy, because like I said, the ball did not go through the hoop. The hoop went around Kennedy, Kennedy Murphy. So, yeah, and Yakub calls it perfectly. There's going to be a blue card. Reckless dislodgement. So Melchior went through the hoop without being contact. Like, it's one thing as a defender if the offensive player like runs through you and you take out the hoop because of that. It's another thing entirely for you to just dive through the hoop and into the player. So what's going to happen is Melchior's got to go sub out now so that Kennedy can Murphy can just drop this in the hoop when we restart play.
And this is why it's so great to have rules analyst Matt Melton here in the booth today. For these unusual situations, like what happens when a hoop goes around a player. It's a blue card for hoop dislodgement in this case at least.
It was called perfectly on that one. There are some instances where you can have a goal count in that case, in certain cases, but in that specific case, the hoop was completely dislodged when it fell through Kennedy.
Toronto's going to get dodgeball control back on the big beat attempt from Ojas Turakar here, and really nice play by Brian Melchior to save the possession.
I don't want to tell him I don't think they need to do it because of the deflection, but it was a great play by Melchior to somehow swat that underneath Zach's hands and to their chaser.
Really nice screen from Lauren Matheson. Frees up Melchior to make the pass, and Liam Zach is going to block the quad ball through the hoops. They can do that with the keeper.
Only because they were a keeper. Way to remember their keeper and put their hand through the hoop and block that. Great play by Zach on that one.
Zach, such a smart player. Just one of the smartest players I've had the fortune to play with, and does it right there.
Kennedy back to Liam behind up top. Looks like Wolf and Medeiros trade hoops. So all the dodgeballs are on the ground. Jeremy behind the hoops gets it back up, but beat. Another beat. But Himmelman ends up with the ball, and they get easily to center hoop.
And
there's a lot of action on that play. It looks like Toronto ends up with dodgeball control. It cost them the goal because they were the beaters were out of the play to get control, and then at the same time, J-Ram got shoved while they were throwing the ball, and took a headshot, and they're gonna walk out. They look like they're all right, and it looks like it's just a preventative thing just in case. So it's gonna be goals good, and then now timeout for Toronto. So now everybody's gonna regroup.
So our score right now is 110-10. So Chicago in command once again.
I feel like all three games have hit that 110-10
I think that's
score.
Exactly right. And that's a real testament to how professional Chicago has been
Yeah.
this weekend. Really no nonsense performance from the Prowl. This is Chicago looking at their best right now.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago, it's a championship contending team, and this is what you do as a championship contending team. You if there's teams you're supposed to win, you keep the game from being close, you do your game. And we see Chicago doing their game on offense and defense. Defensively, there's constant pressure, causing Toronto to throw the ball away rather than, take a turnover at the mid-pitch. And then on offense, you're just seeing all this wonderful passing all over the place. They're just controlling the dodgeballs this game, too, for most of the time. This is Chicago at their finest.
Yeah. If you're head coach Kennedy Murphy, you've got to be really happy with what the Prowl have shown you without two of their top beaters, Tad Walters and Noyes Oshra, without a player like Riley Andrews this weekend, who's been so instrumental to all that they've done over the past couple of years.
It's funny to say how good their passing is being without Riley, who's one of the best passers on the team.
Yeah, this is Chicago really testing its depth here, trying to figure out who their roster for MLQ Championships is going to be. As they look to finally get over the hump, as so many of these players did with Boom Train in USQ this season. They are now trying to claim that elusive Benepi Cup after reaching the finals last year.
Yep, and I think on Toronto's side, you're looking at more so for next series. Toronto can be the third seed or depending on how they go with Minneapolis, they can end up being the third seed or the fourth seed. Historically, them versus Minneapolis has not been very close, but we've seen a Minneapolis team that seems to have taken a step back this year.
Yep.
And so Toronto can use this game to kind of figure out, who can really step up to play against that game, especially because Toronto's going to have the home field advantage for that. Minneapolis to Toronto, that's a long drive. I'm going to guess 14 hours. I don't really know. I just know it's a long drive. And that's going to be a rough travel for Minneapolis. And Minneapolis did not travel well to the Super Series earlier this year. They were down 4 or 5 or 6 players, including some of their Team USA players. So it's definitely a winnable game. I think if Toronto plays like they've played at some of the finer points they've had at this game, I think they can put a really good series up against Minneapolis. I don't think it'll be what it's been in the past, where it's a score similar to this. I think Minneapolis versus Toronto in a week is going to be a week or two. It's going to be a great series.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's coming at the perfect time. They will play the Minneapolis Monarchs in Toronto next weekend.
This weekend? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So Melchior. Not Melchior. Medeiros is brought down by Turcar. That's going to draw a stoppage.
There was a pretty hard tackle. I didn't get a good look at it. I can't tell you the legality of it. I just knew it was there's some pretty fast movement on the tackle. So hopefully Medeiros is all right. We'll have to see if there is a penalty on the play. There was an AR right there if there was anything illegal. But yeah, now the bigger concern is how Medeiros is doing. Looked like they tried to get up and they went back down. And it looks like their coach is discussing as it might be a head injury. So, hopefully their beater's all right. Medeiros has been having a great game today. Probably as important as McCoo in keeping this beater game, the Toronto beaters in this game, making just a lot of scrappy plays and just trying to get control back a lot of times and succeeding at it. So it would be really a shame if they're not able to continue playing today. It looks like they're sitting up, so hopefully they'll be able to come back in pretty quickly.
Yeah, agreed. Medeiros shakes hands with Turcar, getting some attention from the trainer right now. Hopefully he'll be all right.
And they're up. That's good. It's a good sign to see.
Yeah, really good to see as both teams clap. But yeah, this series against the Prowl is a really good chance for the Raiders to get up to speed before this crucial series against the Monarchs. The difference between third and fourth seed really helps in bracket play. I believe the North Division third seed will get a bye this year as the North Division first and and second seeds are you know, not choosing, the North Division is not choosing you know, who their opponent is. Their divisional ranking is higher. So you know, the Raiders definitely are going to have a chance to you know, get a key series win over the Monarchs next season, and the rest of this game is a chance for them to, you know, test out their depth and you know, play against a really good team, especially in the beating game.
Oh, okay, yeah, so Turkar, yeah, does get a yellow card for that, for playing after beat, essentially, for contact after beat. But yeah, having that extra bye in the playing game is pretty huge. More than anything, you have to sleep in an extra hour, which is always agreed, or always something you want to have. So, is that a beat? Yeah, missing a beat and a turnover.
Yeah, the Chicago Beaters have been on high alert. Kennedy Murphy bringing the quad ball up now.
Yeah, it's a no dodgeball situation. Prowl's gonna go.
Yeah, 23 Kirby trying to get back into the play, but beat by Wolf. Zoc throws to Himmelman. Himmelman tries to get over Matheson and scores. So
Ooh.
Chicago goes up 120-10, I believe now.
Yep. Yeah. The Chicago just fast enough on that play as the Himmelman had maybe 2 seconds tops to get that ball through the hoop before McCoo was there to beat them. Only able to pull that off because they ran fast enough to get there before the beaters did.
Scott Russo bringing the quad ball up now at keeper for the Raiders. Throws to the near side to Nathan Reed as Chicago tries to kill the last few seconds of this penalty on Turkar. Mav Wolf takes the beat now, and Kirby's going to get the dodgeball from Wolf. So Toronto's going to have dodgeball control here, and Liam Zock's going to walk it up the pitch as a result. Wolf subs out now for Harold Avankula. Avankula is going to be accompanied by Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's Isabel Kirby in with McCoo for Toronto. They got McCoo up top and Kirby out on the hoops.
Kirby's been the leader for plus-minus in the Raiders heading into the series, but gives up the dodgeball to Camilo Rodriguez. Himmelman throws up top to Kennedy Murphy. Avankula makes the tap beat.
3 minutes!
Let's see how they...
Zoc takes a shot, but misses, or it's blocked.
Yeah, it's blocked there by Laura Matheson. I think Zoc was hoping to time that with their beaters, and their beaters were not in the play, and good block there by Matheson to get the turnover for Toronto. Reed driving down the right side, turns around, goes back up to Caldas.
Through all 3 games, they're up, I believe, 150-20 right now. So the goal from Emma Vasquez at the end brings the score to 150. Chicago is going to be shooting for a set score of 210. That means they won the first game 235-30, the second game 195-30, if I have the scores correct.
I claim nothing about the first one. I think it was 240 to 50. 250. 255 to 50?
Yeah, and this is why we should have written the scores down. But, you know, point being, Chicago Prowl have been dominant today. Some good stuff from the Raiders at times, some spells of dodgeball control, some offense where the Raiders were stringing some passes together, supporting each other, avoiding turnovers. But by and large, Chicago Prowl have really figured out defensively how to not only stop the Raiders, but create turnovers in advantageous positions that set them up well to run on the fast break, and they've been converting those opportunities, especially against no bludgers, with high efficiency.
Yeah, it's offense on Prowl has been looking very good with that. Also, we confirmed 235-30 for game 1.
235.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Looks
nice. So we think our stream is back. So our ice has been helping.
Space age cooling system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Toronto has rotated back to Campbell at seeker, and Liam Zock, who just made the catch in game 2, is back at it for the Prowl. And in both cases, Caldice and Ralph/Liam, J-Rom, the backups that we've seen are also all have yellows, so it's the same team.
And Dykstra pump fakes, shakes off the tackle, and scores. What a play by Sarah Dykstra.
That fake was amazing. Well done. Faked me out too, and I'm just
Dykstra's had maybe a third or a half of the goals for the Raiders this weekend.
Yeah, Dykstra's been doing great. When they get the ball in her hands by the hoops, she usually does not let them down.
And a beautiful touch pass from Ben Peachy to DME to Ali Manzella for the goal. Score is going to be 160 to 30, I believe. Our set score is 210. Yeah, 160 to 30. So Chicago 3 goals away from the sweep. I believe they've secured the division title at this point with the win in Game 2. They clinched the MLQ North division title for the 2nd year in a row. Detroit Innovators, of course, at 10-2 will be in 2nd place. Next weekend, a matchup between the Toronto Raiders and the Minneapolis Monarchs in Toronto will decide that 3rd seed. But Chicago now going for the 11-1 season.
Yep.
Not a perfect season because of that loss to the Innovators and right here, week 1.
30 degrees less with a lot more rain.
Yeah.
So this is wonderful.
Very different conditions.
Yes.
Gabriel Kwok now trying to get past Manzella and does. Takes the big contact and scores.
That was interesting contact because they just grabbed their arm and just somehow stopped them completely in midair. Way to get the goal off while flying through the air like that.
Yeah, really nice goal by Kwok. Brings the score to 160 to 40. Dimmy behind the hoops. Runs around the tackle and finds Peachy for the goal.
Now Craig's on the run. Peachy's... Oh, no!
And what a beat by Ojas Turkar to deny the goal by Craig.
From behind. Oh, no, Craig.
Craig's been so close so many times this weekend.
That's the worst thing to happen as a chaser.
Yeah.
You run full speed like that and they just get you.
Comes out of nowhere.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's a bad day. I've been there before. I hate it.
Prowl winning 170 to 40 right now. They're 4 goals away from the set score of 210.
Lots of discussion on this flag runner catch. I'm curious if this might be called off.
I didn't even see there was a flag runner catch.
Oh, they're calling it good.
And Zock with the catch for the 2nd straight game. So Liam Zock doing it as a chaser, doing it as a seeker. Gives Chicago 35 points, so the Prowl are now only 1 goal away from taking this game, sweeping this series. Score is 205 to 40 right now.
Yeah, Toronto has done a lot better on flag runner and pitch this time around, but
the results have not been there. Yeah,
the catch is gonna hurt.
And Murphy gets the pass from Peachy and scores. So very fitting. Kennedy Murphy, the head coach for the Chicago Prowl for the past 2 years. Last season a non-playing head coach. This season a playing head coach. Gets the goal to win the series, get the sweep. And Chicago Prowl for the 2nd season in a row take the division. Congratulations.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. Great sky hook on that final shot from Murphy. It's beautiful. So. And
for the Raiders, a tough series, but definitely some things to build on here.
It's always tough coming from Toronto all the way to Chicago to play like this, and it doesn't help that it's 90 degrees and Toronto is usually not this hot. So good job with Toronto. Like they definitely look good at times. It's just they're playing against the runner-ups at last year's championships, and they got got some more work to do to catch back up to them. But next week playing Minneapolis will be a lot closer. We're going to see how that goes.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for joining us. We had a great time bringing you this game. For Matt Melton, I'm Jack McGovern. Thank you to our camera operator, Sprigg. Came out, our manager this weekend. And we'll see you next weekend.